Hi guys, let's talk about Bitcoin's massive retrace. Okay, so is alt season still going to happen? I think that's a big question. Most of the alts got really slaughtered. My ETH holdings got like a 25% haircut. So I want to talk to you guys about what to do next on your hodl side of things. And is this, and the cautionary tale, is this the beginning of a complacency wave, meaning that we might be holding on to bull market hopes and the market never turns around? So those kind of things and a little bit more in today's stream. So if you are interested, give me a like, get me subscribe, share the video with a buddy. Let's see how we can get as many people on ramped successfully. Okay, over to the live comments. Morning, Liesel. Hello, Zenodiac, and Mart tuning in from Twitter. Nice to have you here, my friend. And for the rest of you guys, as you're jumping on, it's definitely, it's definitely going to be slow stations today. Okay, let's start off with the Dixie. So, news, fundamentals. I always say news is the lubrication, or as the old saying goes, sell me the chart. Show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. Basically, the massive sell-off sparked by the fact that Trump raised tariffs to Mexico and Canada and China, I think 30, 25, and 10%. And it sparked the argument that there might be a trade war or, coming and that creates confusion, uncertainty. The market didn't like it, and hence we had a massive pump in the Dixie, and subsequently a massive liquidation event on Bitcoin and Ethereum and most of the alts. Now, in all honesty, in all fairness, if there wasn't any buyers and sellers within the price zones that price fell to, it couldn't have happened. It's as simple as that. So in an essence, we all have ourselves to blame. But now let's move it past that and see how we can move forward. Okay, so the one problem that I have regarding Bitcoin larger time frame, I've got the Dixie in front of me, is that we know that the Dixie DXY needs to be trending down for us to have a bull market. If it goes up, we've got a bear market. And for a while, we had a little bit of a weirdness, Trump pump, everything went up. And the problem that we had at the unease was that, okay, the Dixie is in a really good area to dump further down. We're in an area where if the market wants to show us a really good bull market, if the Dixie starts falling back down to 97 or even lower 88, that would be amazing. So maybe, that is still going to happen. But the only uncertain, the uncomfortable thing that I have is if you look at the RSI, the Dixie can and does do this a lot, give you hope, bearish divergence, and then it stays above it. Then it goes and rallies and makes a higher high again, gives you another bearish divergence, gives you hope, and then stays above it, and so forth. So it's a frustrating thing to know. Is this the top? Is this the top? Is this the top? So from a localization point of view, where we are, it's a good area for rejection, but it's not there yet. Simple. I don't have any evidence to say that this is going to be the case. This means that we need to talk Bitcoin, and we need to talk serious about Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to bring up the Bitcoin CME chart. Now, there's two gaps that I want to bring to your attention. The current one that was created over the weekend, whoops, where we are, and then a one that was created a while ago when Bitcoin went from $69 to $100,000 in 2 weeks' time. So that was a crazy run, that whole pump. And with CME gaps, the way that we normally know the market moves is they tend to get filled. They have a tendency to get filled, okay? Meaning there's a CME gap, price try to go to that CME gap. Not always, not all gaps get filled. That's the hard part. So statistically, it's a very tough thing to say that because there's a CME, we have to go lower. It's because there's CME, we could go lower. That would be the better way to try and word this. Okay, so it is tough, guys. And I know that if I'm trying to answer the question, what will the markets do? Will they recover? The probable or the most probable answer is to almost look at this structure in a similar way that happened in July of last year. Okay, meaning that we created a CME gap, we came back, we tested it, and then we ran further. And that the argument is we create a CME gap, we test it, and then we dump further, basically. So worst case scenario, if we're moving into a situation where we are in a complacency phase, meaning we just need to cool off before the next rally starts. If that is the majority of what everybody's thinking, this would be the most probable thing for us to do. Bitcoin pushes back up and never reclaims the 100, 105 area, which we celebrated last week as being support. Now, finally, we're above it, and then just to see it get lost. So that's the danger, the cautious. And then if that happens, what do we do our larger time sentiment? So if we don't reclaim 100K, we still have to remain bullish, because the retrace, a fair retrace, and even a big enough dip, could see Bitcoin go back down to 78, and it will still be in line with the bull market projections, because a little bit of a retrace and then go make another higher high is as fair as it was there, could be a potentially fair as there. And we know the market has a way to want to recover or wants to repeat itself. It never looks the same, but it does like to repeat itself. Okay, so now let's move over to the alt season question then, because what do we do with the alt bags? A lot of buy zones were given last week, the weeks before, and in some cases, a lot of coins were pointed, stay away, not ready yet. I hope you guys did, because I think they all got really slaughtered, So let's do this following, and I want to talk to you guys about alt season. I just want to show you something that contradicts everything that I said about Bitcoin in a complacency, and could potentially give you guys a little bit of hope. Okay, interested for a little bit of hope? Let's wake up the chat. Let's see, about 200 people joining in live. On Twitter, let's just all say 777. I just want to see where you guys are at. Give me a 777. Let's just say hi. Let's just wake everybody up real quick. I'm going to go to the comments while you guys get there. Middag, Mumel. You have a lovely day and afternoon to all friends. Lucky I sold the day before the crash. Roger, well done, my friend. Jaden, Rudo, showing up every day, no matter the state of the market. I can skip some days, guys. If it's boring, I tend to stay. So yeah, I won't say I'm not guilty. Let's see else. Dave, tough day. Yes, my friend, I know it can be a tough day in an essence, but remember, the reality with any retrace is from a hodler point of view, is that this is basically insignificant. The market will give you an exit liquidity time. It can go down. It's fine. It doesn't really hurt you in that way. If you have got leverage positions, those are the guys that got hurt. And those were the guys that basically got liquidated over the month. So hopefully none of you guys had open leverage positions without stops, because then you would have got hurt. Okay. Let's see. Bags are down 50%. Oh, that's a tough one, my friend. Let's see what else. I felt wrong to sell Sol in the zone, but now I'm glad. Dion, it's always going to be like that. If you don't sell the sell zone, if you're not taking control of your investments, the reality is then the market will show you something that makes it hopeless. And that's why Solana, for me, the whole of last week and the weeks before, was kind of a little bit of an uneasy thing to be in. The gains were good, but the momentum was gone, and Cardano sold off heavily, and ETH for that matter. So XRP, those got hurt as well. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of positivity. Yeah, okay. I want to show you, this is Bitcoin. Now, we've got Bitcoin here, July 2017. Now, there's a lot of guys throwing Bitcoin fractals and so forth. And fractals are interesting. And fractals can represent a set of emotions. And because the market is emotionally driven, there's an emotional market cycle. It's just the way it works. It's sometimes a good thing to just go through the emotional cycle to help cement or set in with a narrative, to keep us up to page with what? But any analysis has to come with the invalidation, or else you're just basically sucking on the opium teat. Okay, simple as that. Now, what did Bitcoin do when 2017 bull market? It made a crazy high, blow off top, a little bit of a consolidation. At this stage, everybody said it won't fall below $6,000 because theoretically the maths came to it that that's what it costs to mine one Bitcoin. So this is the ground floor and it won't drop below that level. And then oops, it went to $3,000 and everybody's scared and shit the pants. Okay. Or shit the bed for that matter. At that stage, the market, funny enough, this dump, XRP was pumping. While we're talking about, I was in XRP at that stage and I was feeling like a genius just to see it dump on my ass a few days later. Okay, and then funny enough, the market then tried to reclaim these highs. So you've got this semi-little bull market. And what made this one interesting was that in this entire run from $3,000 all the way to $12,000, the alts dragged behind. So this was a Bitcoin move. There was no alt season there. The alts kept on losing BTC. So I was in alts sitting at that stage and I was looking at, I'm every day I have more money as it's doing well, more dollars, but I've got less Bitcoin conversion. And it felt horrible. So by the time I went back to BTC, this was that China pump, China adopting BTC. At that stage, I basically wrote the thing down again on the strongest coin that basically had the most retrace. So I kind of, this whole area screwed it up for myself. But here's the interesting part now that I want to bring to it. Once we had this massive shakeout, so this was the COVID dump, exchanges had so much liquidation and exodus that they went offline and things just went horrendously wrong for crypto. We had an insane retrace. It went back to previous accumulation levels, okay? Because remember, the price can't go there if there's no traders there. Simple as that. So it went back down to those levels, okay? And it created a bump and run pattern. I hope I'm using the right term. I don't pattern trade that much. Basically, from that point onwards, we had a V, almost like a V reversal. The market stayed above that for a little bit, and the rest is history. Bitcoin went. Now, if I take this and I start looking at Ethereum, because remember, I've been saying for the whole of forever that Ethereum for me is still going to be the thing that signals the alt season. It's the second biggest. It just has to. It just makes sense. Okay. I know there was speculation. People said, but Solana is now the driving force, but there was no alt season yet, so it can't be Solana as now. So let's have a look at this whole thing. Same thing. Ethereum previous bull market made an insane high, extremely fast reversal. Okay. Accumulation moved up, failed to make a higher high. Okay. In that little move from there to there, Ethereum season, okay? And then all the other alts came into play. We've not made a higher high yet, and now liquidation, okay? And that liquidation is taking us right back to the previous accumulation, okay? So the similarities regarding the structures, the larger mechanics that drove this price range from November 2021 all the way to where we are now is very similar to that from Bitcoin 2017 till 2020. Okay. And it's for that reason that I'm going to be kind of being in a position where I'm still going to stick to my guns. Okay. Ethereum, not a bad buy. Okay. Now, here is the invalidation though. Like the 2017 move, if we start rejecting, or not like the 2017, if we start rejecting and we start losing certain gaps, now you can see the market went too quickly there, went too quickly there, went too quickly there. So there was almost like a little bit of a trade gap between those levels. Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. If we lose those levels, that invalidates the idea and we're going to go lower. And the path to that level was a straight line, meaning if you look at the daily, this is now weekly candles, but if you look at the weekly candles, no one weekly candle, bar from this one, made a lower low on the way to that target. So the argument is, this is how I'm going to invalidate this theory, okay? Where we are now, I'm going to zoom in on Bitcoin on the week, Ethereum on the weekly. And I'm going to say to myself, okay, their price should not go below this. I want to see, and it's far in the future, I want to see this start slowly creeping up, okay? And there shouldn't be a retrace. Because if this was a true shakeout before a pump, that's what needs to happen. Okay, meaning if this was this depression, my money is lost. Really had guys say on this call, 50% is gone. That's it. If it's that kind of depression feeling, okay, I should not see lower lows anymore. And that makes for the easiest invalidation that you guys can ever use. It's simple. Mark that point out and put a stop there. If it goes below it, it's going to go down further. And you don't want to be in the ride anymore. Then you want to wait things out. Okay. It's simple as that. TR, broken new all-time low. A lot of these coins will be doing these kind of crazy things, guys. But what I would not say, okay, is any wicks, like look at Ethereum again. I'm going to stick on Ethereum for a little while, okay, because it's a significant coin, okay. This was because of leverage traders. It wasn't necessarily because of spot holders. Case in point, I was on my motorcycle this weekend, riding somewhere in the middle of the bush when ETH decided to move. I didn't have a stop. I couldn't impact the market with my ETH bags, okay? The guy that had a long-term leverage position had to protect himself with, if it goes there, I have to sell or else I'll get liquidated. And it's those kind of guys, plus the ones that didn't have a stop, that forced the market down as a domino effect. Because as soon as that started happening, so much momentum jumped in that even the buyers at that stage gets overwhelmed by all the other promises from all the other positions. And the rule is simple, guys. When it's fast, it won't last. So just like for the upside, the same as for the downside. Okay. What bike am I riding? KTM? No, my friend. A Honda. My son is on a KTM, and I'm looking for one. So funny enough, but no, I was on my Honda. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on then. Okay, so you guys have an idea of where we are within the bigger scheme of things. It means that to analyze coins like Cardano today, there's the investment reload zone that I discussed with you guys last week. It's almost a moot point because yet again, it went there. Hopefully you had a limit order. If you haven't, that's one of those things. It is such an outlier that it would fall that low that for a lot of it didn't make sense. But there, it covered it up. It filled the gap. It's going to close. It will probably fill a little bit of that wick. And I want to see this thing creep up. It's so simple as that. Okay. We can move over to Solana. Solana is the one that I was uneasy with. Okay. Sell zone, I'm not liking it. The momentum seems to be gone. So what did it do? It fell and it deleted a lot of gains with big structures. Okay. So what does it need to do? It shouldn't go below this. It needs to build a base. There would be first area of resistance. That's the kind of play I want to see. So it's still a really good buy, but it's no longer that great because it's lost 33%. So if it wants to continue on high, it needs to start gaining momentum, guys. Okay. XRP, divergence below the pivot. If this thing consolidates here, it's gonna do that. Come the next little bit of retrace, XRP could surprise you. Remember what I said with XRP. This is the crazy thing about it. When it's fast, they don't last. Okay. This was insanely fast. Tricky thing. So, go back to 2.7. If you've got XRP bags, sell some. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just going to try and say common sense. Sell some of it. Okay. Sell 30% of it. Okay. Because if the rest goes higher, you're still not going to cry about it. Because now you've got cash that's still profit that you can use on some of the other coins, some of the smaller coins, that's not yet moved, because then we game on again and we're back to business and all is good. And this was just a shakeout. But because that looming complacency wave is sitting in there, I am I'm cautious to the sense that I don't want to be waiting for another 50% and Bitcoin then losing this critical $70,000 price point to now say, okay, guys, it's bearish, because at that stage, your alts will be destroyed due to the fact that the dominance is so strong. So you have to do something about this. You're going to have to look at your bags and cover off on that. Okay, now is the time where we can look at some requests. I know I had a request for Arweave, so let's quickly have a look at Arweave. Going to go crypto, and we're going to go spot. And let's see. Let's have a look at Arweave. I'm on the wrong tab. There we go. Now, this was one of my favorites to actually buy. Why? Because it was in the buy zone. And although everything else got nuked, and that also went down 40% like crazy, the proximity to the buy zone and within the structure, it's still a great deal. And that's it. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm happy with the fact that Arweave is there. The hope never was to see it fall below this level. The invalidation is pretty clear. If we lose that accumulation, it's over. And if you want to have a little bit of a fractal reminder of how you should think and feel about this, you can use Solana almost as a good example. Okay. I want to do this. There you have it. Okay. That part, if you lose that, it's going to price discovery down. Arweave is sitting on top of it there. Okay. And if you don't believe me, once we scale up and make a little bit higher, what happened? If you lose that, price discovery down, and that's what happened there. Okay. So this could be the buy there that turns into this, or this could be the buy that chops around and fails. And that's that complacency scare that I just want to put in. Okay, so mainnet this month, yes, a lot of good news, but remember, in bull markets, good news doesn't necessarily pump something, bear markets, good news maybe dumps it, it's exit liquidity. Let's have a look at some of the coins that, we spoke about a lot in the recent times. SUI, okay, lose that line, it's turning bad. So, you could have added there. Who's to say that demand, when momentum's going to run out? You never do. So where it's at now, it's bad. So SUI could be the next ton, okay? It's had its move. It was strong for long, and now it's over. Now let's go to ton. Let me just show you what I mean by that. Where's ton? I'm just going to do this in. At some stage, it was the one that was pumping when everything else were dumping, okay? And ton was there. And I'm going to be honest with you, even in my private group, I was considering that would be a really good buy. And now look where ton is. It's filling the gap. Okay. So SUI might be the beginning of this, meaning complacency. Everybody's waiting for the next higher high that doesn't come. It first shakes you out. Okay. And that's a fair, I think that's fair to say that for SUI. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it pumps a little bit higher, but statistically, I think this is the more probable future for SUI than ton. So use the next highs to take profit on the thing and look for something else that has now gone through the emotional cycle that's in this depression run, because they're going to be the ones moving next. Okay. Solana wasn't the best pumping coin the entire previous bull cycle. You first had Cardano, then you had DOT, then you had Solana. Simple as that, guys. So each one of these ecosystems. Now it's SUI. Maybe it will next time will be OP. Maybe it was something else. Each one of them, they'll have their moment in the sun. Okay. This thing, why did I say stay away? Because you can see from where it's at, it's down another 55%. Okay. All these smaller, crazy ones, you have to take note that until alt season happens and they've got sideways, they're going to keep on hurting you. So please don't buy these small new projects, okay? Good coins like ENA. This was the buy area for me for continuation on momentum. Now, if it's going to go, it's probably going to go to 43 cents. It's now doing this. For me, it's an investment reload now. So we're going to want to try and consolidate between 63 and 32 cents. So this is where it's going to play around. Okay, that's good. The momentum play is now over. I missed that buy. And with the fact that we can accumulate, I am going to get my buy. It's just a few months later. Okay, let's have a look at something else. Let's scroll. We were talking about Trump coin a lot last time, and why I said you shouldn't grab these. Okay, Melania coin, all dead. Now let's have a look at Dogecoin. Okay, in the target. So it's not ready yet. All these things now need to retrace. They will accumulate. They'll build their store. They'll build their base. We'll have another run, guys. Okay. Let's have a look at Celestia. Celestia. Okay. It's horrible. Let's stay away coin now. Okay. Why? Because that is the little area of support that's left. Go below 2.2 and Celestia is going to go price discovery, guys. It's going to turn $100 to $10 quickly if the market wants to be bearish. So what do? The next little move up, back into this, below this cluster. That's your next action zone. Like we did there, that buy, we sold there and said, well, it's not going to make higher high off this buy. Okay. Now you've got your new buy. You want to wait for there. You want to sell. You want to ladder your ass out of Celestia. Okay. If you're wrong, you can always buy back if it consolidates above it. Okay. The same will happen with OP. I mean, OP, same thing. Boom, boom. See how these zones give you second chances. We're in a big move. Wait for the second chance. Get your ass out. Okay. Wait for the second chance. Get your ass out. And then you can go rebuy the next low on the TA, and then you're okay. Okay, simple as that. Let's see what else we have. Let's have a look at Rune. Whoops. I'll take Rune there. Okay. Now, in the Discord, I was talking to guys about this. I extended the buy zone line to that area, thinking, that's where Rune's going to be. And I think I shared it on YouTube as well. Rune, let me know about this if that's the case. I'm not too sure. So when you have something with insane momentum like this, it's the opposite of the pump. Like I said, it's a fast move. Come on. My mouse. It's an insanely fast move. So when it breaks, there will be a big move. And the way that these moves normally happen is the market will go to at least 50% of that. Okay. So I'm just going to put that 50% line in there. And it will use, in time perspective, half the time. Okay. Meaning, if I take it from 0 to euro, okay. Wrong time tool. Whoa. Come on. There we go. Take it from 0 to euro. Okay. And I say, give me 1.5 the time. Okay. You can see that the market from 0 to euro, from where it went to high to there in time wise means that roughly that time the retrace will be. So we're here now. And the amount of time it took to get there, that's the amount that it's going to take to retrace half of this. So if this wants to break out, let me just do the analysis for you here, because I wasn't in words doing it justice. Okay. You want to expect the market to be here somewhere. So by March, you should be back at $4 minimum if it still wants to go lower. And only when it breaks that trend. That's the bedtime story version of this. Okay. Okay. There you have it. No, I really have not. Okay. And then let's see what else we have before we end off the stream. 30 minutes in, I think I'm going to call it. Late to the day. Let's end this there. Let's end this here. Okay. Let the dust settle. Okay. Let's do this. Because big picture wise on this Bitcoin, I want to end you off with this. Okay. What have we done? There's still a higher high, higher low. Okay. And if I bring the RSI in, lower low, we've created another hidden bullish divergence. That's all that we've done. Okay. Big picture, it's still bullish, my friends, although it feels horrible for your alts. And I can completely understand that. And that's the crazy, I almost say on a hypocrisy, you know, Bitcoin's holding strong and the alts are just getting smashed for no good reason. Okay, there you have it. So let's stay true to the larger time frame analysis, in my opinion, and we'll take things level by level. And that's the reason why when I do share these TP zones, to just consider selling some, you know, always have skin in the game, being bullish and bearish, so that you end up walking away as a winner. That's the way. You can cheat. Nobody says you have to pick a side. Okay. Thanks so much for taking the time with spending it with me, guys. Real quick, today's video is brought to you by a new channel partner that I created or joined. It's Blowfin. So what you can do is you can head over to the links in the video description and the Discord link. It's repaired. For some reason, it didn't work, guys. So a lot of you guys couldn't get to it. Okay, so you can head over there and then sign up with the partnership. So the guys in the US, the guys in the UK can actually use this. So finally, you can get in on some of the partnership advantages and deals and discounts that's in the Discord. Okay, then you can head over to either the Buddy indicator and you can get your Bybit, your Blowfin promotion or your Blowfin sponsorship. So you can get the indicator for a period of time. And what it will also do is it will give you access to the paid or the private Discord services for a 90-day period. Everything is in the terms and conditions, guys. So you can read through that, check it out at your own pace. It's as simple as that. And like I said, it is available for those in the US and in the UK area that up till now couldn't benefit of any of the partner deals that I had. So sign up, support the content. I will greatly appreciate you, and I will reward you by giving you my Buddy indicator and throwing you into the private group with me where the guys are waiting. We're in an ETH long at the moment. Let's quickly see how it's doing. There we go. So it's not doing good at the moment, still chopping around. So it's in the buy zone. So wink, wink. I want to try and get this thing back to 3K at least. Okay. And this is a way that you could look at some of your alt bags real quickly. Okay. I'm going to talk about ETH. Let's say that's where my final ETH conversion was done over the weekend. So I was saying, okay, breakout, I'm more than happy to switch BTC spot to ETH spot. I was going to hold it in any case. The plan was not to move that into USDT at any stage. Now it's down 25%. Feels sucky. It's a shitty haircut. Okay. I can buy on leverage with my eyes closed easily the same amount of ETH. And if I trade that back halfway, you see what I've done. I've basically recovered. And if that breaks out and goes back there, by the time we're here, I'm even in a better position. That's the beauty about trading. Hodlers make money in the bull market. Traders can always make money. That's the beauty about it. You have a lovely day, guys. Thanks so much for joining in. Sign up with that link. Support the content. I'll be seeing you in the Discord, and I'll be back tomorrow with more. Cheers.
I'll keep hustling.
Subscribe now.